Storyblocks Audio. Storyblocks Audio. Storyblocks Audio. Storyblocks Audio. Storyblocks Audio. Storyblocks Audio. Storyblocks Audio.
Test, mic
Storyblocks
check.
Audio. Storyblocks 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 Audio.
My name is Leon Garcia. Foundation. I don't know what happened to my paper here, but we will get it to you guys. Meanwhile, uh, glad for another day of life, and so let's get this started here. My name is Leon Garcia, and I'm a proud member of the Choose to Change Mentoring Program. The Choose to Change Mentoring Program is a self-supporting Christian-based group sponsored by the Choose to Change Foundation. There is no fee to attend this class, but we do encourage donations from our members and to anyone else who believes in what we do. The only requirement for membership is a sincere desire to change your life. We are on a mission to restore families by inspiring, challenging, and equipping men to become better fathers, husbands, and leaders in our community. So if you are ready to change your life, then you are in the right place. Through this program, you will learn exactly where to start your life change journey, tools and resources to keep you going, and a support system to help you reach your goals. The Choose to Change mentoring program believes in three key principles of life. Number one, we believe in the life changing power of God through faith in Jesus Christ. Number two, we believe that God has already done his part and that it is our responsibility to learn to do our part or your part. Number three, success or failure is a choice, and the choice is yours. So if
Yes.
you are ready, say, I am ready. I'm ready. You know, when I started coming here to this program, I remember sitting in the back and just crossing my arms and thinking, man, what can this guy teach me? You know, he's an ex-con just like I am. What can he teach me? But after listening to him for about the first 10, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, I want to say, I was like, huh, why did I ever try that? And he got it all written up here again. You know, that was, I remember when I first came, he had it a little bit smaller up here, you know, and I was like, man, you know, that's crazy. And it's already been a couple of years that I've been coming to this class, you know, and keep, you know, just keep coming. That's all I remember him saying. Just keep coming, just keep coming, just keep coming. And it's true, you know, just keep coming and just keep listening to what Orlando has to say, and you'll be able to change your life the way, you know, I've changed my life through Jesus Christ, you know, helping me and my brothers along the way, my sisters from the church, pastor, and they've all helped me along the way. And you know, today's been a rough day, but this is the March the 1 year anniversary of when my wife passed away. But I'm making that choice to continue to press forward and move forward instead of going all the way back to where Orlando has this relapse in prison and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? It's real easy for me to relapse. It's real easy for me to say, let me just drink me a little bit of tequila. Let me go do me a little bit of cocaine or smoke me a joint. Who's going to know? But God's going to know. You know what I mean? And that's going to lead me all the way back to this little guy right here, frowning, and, you know? So just put an ear to Brother Orlando, and he'll help you out. So with no further ado, Orlando Salinas.
All right. I want to welcome everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching online. Thank you for being here. Just want to do a couple announcements real quick. Um, uh, those of you that are locally here watching and here, we have Christmas tickets that we're selling to raise money for our foundation. I've teamed up with the city of McAllen. McAllen is having a parade, and we're selling tickets, so we still have some available. I know we've gotten rid of about 150. We've sold, so a lot of people are interested in tickets. So if you know somebody that wants to go to the parade and wants front row seats down the street, with they have chairs, so they're selling those tickets for $10, and we have them available. The next thing I want to share is that next week is I want to do a little Christmas party here. Nothing big. Yay! Yay! So I don't know exactly what we're gonna do, but we're gonna do something. I'm thinking of I have a couple ideas what to do, but for sure there's gonna be food. So let's see what happens. And everybody in here is invited, and those of you watching are invited as well. If you have to fly down here, that's fine. But I think that's it. And let's get started. I think you're going to enjoy this meeting today, this training today. And we're going to talk about my favorite subject, change. I want to talk to you about. I keep on. You're going to always hear me talk about the process of change, about the process of change and the process of change, because in life, in recovery, when it comes to getting out of prison, going through a sickness, no matter what you're going through, there's always going to be a process to changing. In business, there's certain things that my sister's in administration. When change comes about, there's a process that you have to go through to get used to this new change. There's a lot of things that go through the mind, through your physically, emotionally. So there's a lot of things we have to consider, which is what this class is all about. Today, I want to talk to you about. This is the process of change that I teach here. And let me briefly explain it, because I'm going to show you a little video, and it's going to give you a revelation of help you understand that everything that you're going through you're not crazy, you're not stupid, you're not. Everybody goes through these mental battles, through these phases in the mind, and you finally have to get to a point where you have to make a decision, or where you take action and you start maintaining your process, your new life. But what happens is we always go back. And this is where a lot of people find themselves, at this crossroads right here. That crossroads. And you either go back this way, or you come back and you start a new life. And this is what we're going to talk about today. Let me just share with you what my process is. Once you decide, you make a decision, you have a desire to change your life, to make your life better, then most people don't know exactly what to do. They think they know, I'll go back to church, or I'll still go back to my program, or I'll go, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something. But you're ready to change. That's where I start. This is where I can help you once you get here. And what I recommend is you need Jesus Christ in your life. You need God. That's the second step, if you may. That's the second phase of your process. And you're going to need God. You're going to need faith in God. You're going to need faith in yourself. You're going to need faith in the process. And a lot of people have a problem with the process because we don't have patience, right? And then I teach that the first thing you're going to have to start dealing with is your mindset, right? It's a monster. Things that go through your mind. We have to start working on this, because this affects your attitude, how you feel, it affects your emotions, everything you have in your mind. And why is all that attitude important? Because you start creating habits, bad habits, right? It's easier. I think you said it's easier to be happy with a bad habit, right? Yes, it's easier to go smoke a cigarette. It's easier to drink a beer. It's easier to just lay and be lazy. It's easier. It's easier. So all those things have to change, because your habits start forming your lifestyle, which is why we got where we're at today. Is how you wound up here. Is how we wound up in prison. This is how we wound up wherever it is that you are. Because of all this, it creates a lifestyle. And of course, this is important to understand, because your lifestyle is going to take you to your results, right? And as I say here all the time, results is the name of the game. Doesn't matter what I say, doesn't matter what they say, doesn't matter. You have results, what we see. And of course, that could be what? Or faith. So this is the process. This takes time. It's not, I like to put it in steps, but they're not really steps. They're actually just ingredients in your life change to help you focus on something, right? Because you all can say, you know what, yeah, I need to work on my attitude, or you know what, there's some habits I need to change, right? Or you know what, I need to work on my faith. You can look at that and see that, right? So these are the basics of change. There's a lot more, but if you work on these, everything else will come together. Now, I'm explaining all that because I'm about to show you a video. So let's get the video here ready. In about 3 minutes, you're going to put it on. There's actually a scientific or process that they call, let me see if I can say it. Oh man, how do you say it? I forgot how to say it. Trans theoretical change. It's called the trans theoretical process of change, or trans theoretical stages of change. This was developed in the 1970s and 80s by a couple of doctors, and it's just for us to understand what goes on in the mind when you're ready to change. Or let's look at the video and then we'll discuss it. Yeah, let's do this. Check this out. The 5 stages of change.
I'm Dr. Wendy Guest, here to explain how using behavioral science can change your life.
Behavioral science.
Have you ever really wanted to change something in your life, but it didn't work out the way you planned? Maybe you wanted to eat healthier, or exercise more often, or get rid of a bad habit. You made some goals, you tried to change, but in the end, you were not successful and you felt frustrated and stressed out. Well, here's some good news. The science of behavior change can help you succeed in changing your behavior and, as a result, have a better life. Behavioral scientists have found that people who go through a particular process to make a behavior change are more successful than those who don't. That process is called the trans-theoretical model, or simply the stages of change. Let's learn about these stages to help you succeed in making a positive change in your life. Meet Isabella. She has a challenging job and often feels tired and run down. One day, her friend asks if she'd like to join a fitness walking group, but Isabella doesn't see the purpose and explains that her schedule is too busy. Isabella is in stage 1 of the trans-theoretical model, the pre-contemplation stage. For her to move out of this stage, something has to happen, something that makes her think. One day, Isabella reads an article that helps her realize some of her habits really aren't healthy and could lead to serious problems later in life. She begins to consider the pros and cons of making a lifestyle change. Now, when her friend asks about walking, Isabella says she'll think about it. Isabella is now in stage 2, the contemplation stage. As Isabella contemplates further, she starts to talk to her friends and colleagues about how she might fit a regular walking program into her busy schedule. She also researches what she might need for walking, as well as the benefits she can expect, such as better health, more energy, and increased endurance. Isabella is emotionally and mentally preparing herself to change her lifestyle by increasing her self-efficacy and building her determination toward adopting this new behavior. She's in stage 3, the preparation or determination stage, which will empower her to make a change. Now that Isabella is prepared and determined to make a change, she takes action by joining her friend's walking group. After a month, Isabella is doing very well and starts to see her results in her energy and daily life. Isabella is in stage 4, the action stage. But when things get a bit hectic at work, she stops walking for a week. Fortunately, her group leader understands the challenges people face in the action stage and shares some motivational material to help Isabella get back on track. Over time, Isabella becomes more consistent and confident with her walking activity and starts feeling better than ever. Fast forward 6 months, we find that Isabella is consistently maintaining her new lifestyle. She feels great physically, handles daily stress with more ease, and has more energy than ever. Isabella is in the 5th stage, the maintenance stage. She has built a supportive network by getting friends and family to join her walking group, and that helps her focus on preventing a relapse back to her previous behavior patterns. Each stage of the behavioral change process presented new challenges. But when Isabella worked on her internal attitude changes, she was able to make the external behavioral changes that she desired. Now she's thrilled with her healthier lifestyle and all the benefits that come along with it. Congratulations, Isabella. We all have behaviors that we want or need to change. Using behavioral science to understand the change process will help you be more successful with changing those behaviors. That means a better you and a better life. I'm Dr. Wendy Guess. Thanks for joining me. I'd love to hear about your journey to a better you.
Easy. Let's go do it. So before I even start, does anybody have any questions regarding this? Has anybody ever seen this before? You've seen it or you have a question? Or both?
I've seen it in myself where like the
The
first two,
process, you mean?
yeah, the first two changes, first two stages that we're showing is just like you trying to get to actually do it. So like I've done that.
Several times.
So anyway, that was I've taken the challenge. I don't know how many times the 90-day challenge. Because
Yeah.
like I'll think about it and I'll do it and then I'll fall off.
Yeah.
So I don't have a question, but it was like yeah, like what she was saying. That's like what I've been doing, especially with lately with what I do, like with the art stuff. I started doing some sketch cards, which I'll do every so often. But I've been doing it more consistently that I decided to just sell them, and I've been since I started to push that I'm selling it. People have been buying like these past couple of weeks. People are like, I want a card, I want a card, I want a card.
Wow, that's
and I've been
amazing.
making them, and so like for like 3 weeks, that's my little side money, which like helps for groceries and stuff like that. So it's like,
Wow.
but that's part of the process. Like
That's amazing.
it started with me just doing it to do it, and then hey, I can turn this into a business,
Make extra money.
make a little extra money.
So if Frank can do it, anybody can do it. Thank you, Frank. That's awesome, man. Anybody else? So the reason I wanted to share this with you is because uh you know, I think about all these things all the time in terms of the because I see that people in distress, people struggling, people coming to church and there's a lot of struggles, there's a lot of hurt, there's a lot of pain, there's always things going on, right? And part of the process, part of this stages that go through in your mind, because it's really all here in the mind. You're gonna run into obstacles. You're gonna run into problems. Who's run into problems here in your life change journey, right? Whether it be the parole office, whether it be sickness, whether it be relationship, whether it be, financial, all the above, you know, your age. I mean, just so many things, right? And then as we get older, we have so much regret, right? Because of, "Man, we should have done this and we should have. Who's going? I should have done this and I should have done that and I never should have, and just all these things that we're going through. And the purpose of what I teach is so that you have something that you need to work with, and that this is a lifelong journey. This is a lifelong journey of learning and growing, and sometimes you're going to fail. You're going to make mistakes. But we have to keep on going. And this is just so much involved here, and all I'm trying to teach you is the things that are involved. So let's go through this process that this lady just explained to us, the pre-contemplation stage. This is for people in the drug addiction and gangs and just messing up their lives. This is where you're living in your life and you don't think you have problems. You have a place to stay, you have a place to eat, you're good, whatever, you're just using, you're just being drinking, you're doing whatever it is that you do. And here, you don't think you have a problem. And if you do, you don't care. so, so this is Pre-contemplation. This is before you even start thinking about about changing your life. You don't want to change your life. There was a time in my life, why should I change? I like what I'm doing, right? We think we're going to be 20 and 30 all your life, right? When you're young, we have so much energy and we mess up our youth so easily, right? Get a DWI, then you get sick, then you, you know, start getting in trouble, and your wife or your spouse or your mother starts saying, there's something you could maybe wrong, and you start contemplation. You start thinking about it. Maybe there is a problem with me. Maybe I am. Maybe I do have a problem, right? I'm telling you, I remember this clearly. Man, maybe I do have a drug problem, man, but I just use on the weekends. And well, sometimes during the week, and it's just, you start thinking about it, but it's not that bad. I work, right? You start thinking about it. Just the contemplation, right? And then, so this two kind of go together. You're kind of like thinking about it, like, and then you're saying, you know what? I think I do have a problem. So you go into the preparation stage, but in the mind. Remember, all this is happening in your mind. And this is why we get depressed, we get excited, we get depressed, we get excited, because we start thinking about, man, should I change? Man, but it's gonna be too hard. I'm gonna have to go there, I'm gonna have to go to church, I'm gonna have to go and you start thinking about these things because nobody likes change, right? So this is why people have so much trouble changing their lives because it's all up here. And they, back and forth, back and forth. Who knows people that, they live a pretty good life, but man, once in a while they get themselves in a wreck, they drink too much, they, but they're good people. But why? Because, and so you don't think you have, because I think that if it's easier for someone that really is a really hardcore drug addict, alcoholic, it's easier for him to change and finally make it different than for that person that doesn't think they have that big of a problem, because you just keep on going and going. And I see people, and they're in their 35, 40, 45, and they're like, oh man, they're still in that stage. And you're like, it's not getting any easier, but you don't see it, right? So anyway, all this is happening in your mind. But then you decide to take action. The final thread is done. You say, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to change my life. So you take action, right? You come to church, you go to rehab, right? You maybe you went to jail and you ask God only this time, like Leon did. God, just take me out and I'll serve you for the rest of my life. Right? That's when you finally take action. Right? And then you get out, start going to church, start going to rehab. You're in your maintenance area, you know. But then what happens? It gets hard. Something happens, and you're back in this. You go to either relapse, prison, rehab, wherever. You know what? I just thought about something. And maybe even you come to church. ¿Eh? Estás in church aquí. Porque ya la regatas otra vez. But now you're at this crossroads. And you either go back here or you start the cycle again. Right? And this is where choose the change comes in. The reason I'm showing you this is because I can't help you here. I can pray for you. I can give you advice, my little 2 cents. I can, really hope the best for you, but I can't do anything for you until you make a decision, until you take action. And you start right here, sad, like, okay, I'm ready. So you get this desire to change your life. And we start this process. And this process evolved in my life as I was seeking answers for myself, right? And I know for a fact that if I needed faith, it was going to take faith because when you're in prison, when you're in a situation, like when you are Sarah, or like many people that come in through these doors, you're in a situation, and there's no easy way out. There's just going to be a process that you're going to have to go through, and you're going to have faith to believe and say, okay, it's going to get better. You're going to have that kind of mindset. See how that works? You're going to have that kind of attitude. See, all these things you're working on at the same time, right? And you keep on going. One of the things they said there, once you take action, is that one of the things that little cartoon did, they built relationships, right? With her walking. Pues ahora sí, ya tienes relationships, you start, because that's what we need. We need relationships. And in the maintenance phase, once you start getting in this process, the biggest thing that's going to help you is relationships. Building relationships with people in church, because those things are key to your growth. Because you're just stuck when you don't get yourself involved in something. You're stuck. But nobody can take you out. Nobody. You have to get involved. That's part of the process of change. Because somebody has to pray with you. Somebody has to believe with you. Somebody has to talk to you. Somebody has to encourage you. And you get that through fellowship. This is why the church is so important. It's key because you're getting everything you need in the church. You're getting encouragement. You're getting prayed for. People are believing for you. And you're building relationships. Does that make sense to you guys? This is what we do here. And we keep on moving forward. So let me give you an example. Does anybody have any questions here? Anybody have any questions? Anybody? Not the end. So let me give you an example of the stages of that the video you just saw. There's an example here. So let's look through this scenario and see so you can get a better idea. I think you all got an idea of what I'm talking about here, right? You get this. This all this class is all about. And whenever you're coming through these doors, I'm going to be talking about faith. I'm going to be talking about mindset. I'm going to be talking about attitude, something in the Bible, a principle, something to keep helping you grow and build your faith, your mind, your attitude, your habits. But let's look at this stages of change example. Let's say that a doctor tells somebody that they're at risk in developing heart disease. And unless they make a healthier choices, like daily walking and a better diet, here's what the stages might look like. Okay. So you get this news, get sick, get on probation, whatever it is. In this case, it's the doctor's telling them that if they don't change your habits, you're going to get heart disease. So he's in the pre-contemplation stage. The person may initially thinks nothing wrong with him, and that the doctor is overreacting to one bad test result. Contemplation stage. They start asking folks close to them who have tried overhauling their own health habits before for advice. They might also start thinking of the pros and cons list about switching to a nutritious diet and exercising daily. And then the preparation stage, they start looking up specific heart disease diets and researching exercise programs that will work for them. So now they're thinking about it. They're searching for it. They're preparing. And then they take action. They begin a new nutritious meal plan and a daily walk. That sounds like me. Well, and the maintenance phase. As unhealthily behaviors are incrementally replaced process with healthier ones, they may join a support group, choose a change, to discuss keeping up with their efforts for long term. And this is how change works. You know, and it's I wish it was that easy, right? We just plug in the actions. And really it is if you just do it, right? But it's laborious. It takes time, takes effort, right? But you get somewhere. Success or failure. Does anybody else have anything else here? Nobody? The journey of life. If you start looking at videos online, you'll find all kinds of help. The problem is that you get overwhelmed. People are overwhelmed with information, and they have what they call analysis. There's a let me see if I can think of it. Paralysis of analysis or analysis of paralysis. Who's ever heard that? How do you say it? Paralysis of analysis. In other words, you're analyzing things so much that you're paralyzed. You're just like, and you're not doing anything. We need to continue taking action. All right. So let's close. I want to close with something that we're going to start doing different here. We usually pass around a donation uh, bag or bucket. But I'm going to start doing something different here because this coming year, we're going to really focus on raising money to continue our work in the rehab centers, in the prison, and in school. On Tuesday next week, I'm going to go talk to a principal of a school. And so I can go talk to the school. They actually reached out to us. So that's really awesome. Part of why we raise money, they asked me, why are we raising money? Well, one, because this is an organization, and a lot of what we do, well, everything that we do costs money. The live streams, our staff, Daniel, and books that I could give away in the prisons, going to the rehabs every single week, going to schools, doing seminars in prison, and trying to get the word out and encourage people. On Monday, every other Monday, we go to the rehab center. There's a rehab center that we're partnered with in Harlingen. It's a juvenile rehab center. And man, it's awesome. We have a church service for them. Our church volunteers go, some of the men from here. And on Monday, six of these guys got saved. One of them started opening up. I mean, these kids need help. And this is part of what we want to do. I want to do this full time. And this is why we'll be focusing on raising money next year. Or be more focused, should I say. So what I want to start doing here is I want to start doing brags. I want to start doing brags. Read it. Let me write it down. Brags. Brags. Let me tell you what a brag is. Have you ever bragged about your grandchildren? Have you ever bragged about your spouse? Have you ever bragged about your car? Have you ever bragged about losing weight? Have you ever bragged about your children? Have you ever bragged how you finally won a game? I promise you, if you won a game, you're going to brag. Are you going to brag? That's what a brag is. And the way we're going to do this is I'm going to start like this. I am going to I have a brag. I'm going to do a $3 brag. That's all I have. $3 brag. And here's how the brag goes. I guess I have so many things that I can brag about, but I'm going to brag about something because it's Christmas. I want to be good with my wife. So I'm going to brag about my wife. My wife is awesome. My wife is incredible. My wife does a lot of great things for us and our kids, and I am very grateful for my wife. And I'm just going to love her and thank her and I'm gonna give her a Christmas gift, but she doesn't know yet. So, but don't tell her. I didn't really have one, but that was good thing. But anyway, just wanted to brag about my wife, love my wife, and I'm just grateful for her. That's what a brag is. Yeah. So, anybody else have a brag? You want to brag about your Daniel? Okay, help me out here, Daniel. Okay, we're not
So
doing.
if you have
There you go.
something to brag about, I'm gonna put the Cash App tag here.
Oh, for those watching
For those
online,
watching
maybe you want
online.
to. In other words, this is how we're gonna raise money.
And we're gonna keep track. So far we have $3 today.
Awesome. Okay.
So if you just want to donate, you can do that too. But this is a way to open up the conversation, and there's a lot really to brag about. It's really just sharing things we're grateful for, accomplishments, and
Like a new job.
yeah.
Mhm. I have a new grandchild, child. So now you know what brags are. Oh, we got another taker.
Okay. And let me go ahead and brag about our church here. $20.
What? Man.
$20 brag. I just want to brag about my church, man. It's been very powerful, you know, all the men and that have, you know, taught me stuff just by watching them and how they carry themselves as being a man and how they carry themselves as being fathers and leaders in our church. And that's what I want to brag about because that's really what got me to the position where I am now. You know what I mean? To where I can say that I'm doing the best that I can for my children, you know what I mean? And
Wow.
pressing forward and doing what I'm supposed to be doing as a man, as a leader of my home. And, you know, just, and that's what I really want to brag about the church and how it's lifted me up, you know, and the men in the church have lifted me up, you know what I mean? The prayers that everybody has given, you know, so that's why when you say that you have to change, you know, the people you deal with, that like the little circle where she said that she was in a maintenance type of thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Where
Support
we had
group.
a support group. You know, and my church, our church has been the my support group
Right.
for you know for everything that's going on in my life. You know what I mean? And I owe it to Jesus Christ first of all and God. You know what I mean? But I also owe you guys. You know, um, to be able to brag about you guys because
Amen.
you guys have helped me out throughout this walk of mine.
Awesome.
Thank you guys.
Awesome. That's awesome. You know, we have so much to be grateful for. And I think this is part of what I we're trying to do. You know, not so much just raise money, but I think all of us have something to say, something to brag about, something to give to everyone else. I'm not talking about the money. I'm talking about your words that say that that mean something to somebody else. Words are powerful. That's why we got to be careful with them. All right. Anybody else? We're good. We got two more tickets. Let brother go. Go ahead, brother. Well, okay, go ahead.
Yes, I wanna first. Well, I wanna
Oh,
brag.
yeah. Hold on.
Yes, $20.
What? Man, I should have started this a long time ago. Thank you, Jesus.
Yes, I wanna brag about God. Yes, first of all, because He's the one that gave me this new life.
Amen.
He's the one that's been transforming me, and I know that you guys are um, are the people that God is putting in my path. Yeah, to so that I can change and so that I can have positive role models. My pastor there in Edinburgh, yes, yeah, I want to brag about him too. Yes,
Amen.
and I know that it's all God that He's putting these people in my path so that I can keep going, moving forward. Yeah, because I when I first started my that pre
Pre-contemplation.
contemplation, yes, that was the
Thinking about it.
hardest. That was the hardest one right there. Yes, and once I got to preparation, well, contemplation, then preparation, and when I got to action, that's when I really knew that I was ready. Yeah, because it took me a while. I've been sober since Rita, you asked me since 2013.
There you go.
Yes,
2013.
2013, and
8 years.
by the grace of God, yes. And I've been the way that it's happened is God putting people in my path that's been positive and leading me to where they led me to. Because I was I started going to the Catholic Church
Yeah.
because that's what how I was raised up, and yeah, I was already getting confused, and I would ask God to place people, positive people, yeah, so I can keep going because I don't want that life anymore.
Right.
Yes, I wanted success, and so I want to brag about you guys, you, my pastor Brandon, and I know, like I said, it's God that's he's placing all these people in my path so I can move forward and for the plans that he has for me,
Amen.
that God has for me. Yeah.
You know, and yeah, and just and then it's gonna be Chris here, but let me just Lupe is an amazing testimony. You know, he's bragging about his church, which is Pastor Brandon in Edinburgh, and but this brother here has an amazing story. He got married not too long ago. What about how long ago? 5 years marriage. 3 years, okay, and he adopted two girls, and it's been an amazing to watch him uh, transform into somebody that he never thought he could be. You know, a father, a husband, and a leader. That's powerful. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Well, I'm gonna pledge $20 as well.
Man, we're gonna do this more often. I'm telling you, we're gonna do it from now on. Actually,
One of the things that I'd like to brag about is really how God has really. I don't know how He got me through so much. Like I don't really even understand it myself. I sometimes do some introspection. I'm like, wow, I've been through a lot of craziness, and somehow God has always pulled through. And then just I want to brag on my daughter. My daughter has been amazing and really handling a lot of the pressure that our family has gone through because of her grandmother being sick.
right,
You know, that put an enormous amount of pressure on everyone.
right,
And just her saying, let me go check on grandma, let's see if grandma's breathing, or let me go check on her, and taking that initiative to really, you know, do her part, even though she's a 7-year-old little girl.
right.
You know, that's, you know, it's amazing. You know, it's amazing. Her grades are improving in spite of moving, you know, multiple times to different schools. Um, and so I'm very blessed. You know, like my child is not like a problem child. Like she's, if anything, she sustains me. I feel really joyful every time, even when I barely make ends meet, pay all of my bills, and I'm still not in the red, and my business is going stagnant, and I'm pressed at every side. I get up and I feel like enthusiastic still about life. Like
Right.
it doesn't like I think the most important takeaway is the fact that all of the situations that I'm going through as far as in my home life. Remember yesterday I was telling you, if I look at it from a negative standpoint, it'll drag me down,
Right.
right? It'll completely drag me down because it's very difficult when you don't have the staff, because my mother qualifies for a lot of staff to take care of her while I run my business. And so if I look at it from a negative standpoint, I'm like, it's dragging down my small business. But if I look at it from a long-term standpoint, even if I'm barely making it, I'm spending extra time with my mom that I may always remember.
Mm-hmm.
If
you're
God
always gonna
calls her
remember.
home.
Yep.
You know, so I'll never regret spending extra time with my mom. She might never. I mean, when the good Lord calls her home, I'm not gonna see her again.
Mm-hmm.
And so my attitude is like, okay, I barely made it this month, but I got to spend a lot of time with my mom
Mm-hmm.
and my daughter. You know, so when we're at our deathbed, none of us, and what I've seen from people that have died, there's no regrets because they didn't take a certain job, or they didn't get a certain gig,
Or didn't have a big enough house.
or they didn't have a big enough house. All of the regrets that I hear from people's deathbeds is that they didn't spend enough time with their loved ones. So what seems to be kind of superficially like, well, I don't have enough money to do the things I want to do, will turn out later in my life once I go through this storm, because it's a storm whenever someone that's in your family is ill. In the end, I know that that time that God gave me with my mom is the biggest blessing I'm really getting, and it can't something that money's not going to be able to buy.
That's correct.
And so my attitude towards it is different, so that I'm able to function in it without feeling like things are falling apart.
Yeah.
You know, even though everyone around me is like, "Oh, I don't even know how you're sustaining yourself," which is crazy because I don't even know. I don't know either. But yeah, God has pulled me through.
Yeah.
And so I want to brag about that, and I just want to thank my daughter for being awesome with her grandma.
That's incredible. And for those who don't know, Chris, Chris is going through a lot, because just his process in changing. Um, None of us are perfect here, and he'll be the first one to say he's not perfect. But to go be able to do what he has to do and be doing it, that's awesome. Being the father that he needs to be and the son. Wow, that's amazing. So guys, that's what we're gonna be doing. Just doing one more brag. Oh, Frank, man, you're out of control.
I'm gonna pledge $1 brag.
Hey, that's enough. There you go.
I want to brag. I'm gonna stretch my dollar, so I'm gonna brag about a few things. Give my dollar's worth. I want to brag about my God because he's been fantastic, and through this whole time, I mean, there's been instances where like I don't have enough for stuff, and lately I've been praying to God, like, God, I need like some financial breakthrough. And like I said earlier, like I've been selling more of my art, more of my sketch cards and comics, and that's been money coming in. And I'm like, God, I need breakthrough. Like, well, hello, I'm doing it. Like you're, because I was expecting like some sort of, oh, I want that $1 million or that like that big check to come in, but like no, guys, like, oh, I'm gonna give you, you're gonna work for it, you're gonna do what you love, and you're gonna get paid for it. So that's been coming in. So
That's awesome.
And I know I can't do that without God. I want to brag about my church because it's been great. The support, the people here, choose to change. I mean, this is a big part of why I'm able to do what I do. Like when I came in, I think it was like 6 years ago, I was on meds, twisted, uh, and now I'm clear-minded, and like I'm able to do like what I thought I couldn't do, and brag about my kids because they are great. My oldest son, he just asks, like when I ask what do you want, he asks for like very little, so I try to give him more because like he's not asking for much. He's not like, oh, that, well, I want this. Uh, it's just like I just want to be with my dad. So it's like, like that's that. And my other kids are like that too. So like, so I'm grateful for them, and I also want to brag about Chavaria because Chavaria, uh, he does a lot behind the scenes that not everyone sees, and when I need a ride, he's there. When I need to go to the store, he's there. He doesn't complain. I'm sure maybe in his mind, well, he's not. He doesn't tell me, and I wanted to acknowledge that because I don't always acknowledge that. So, like, friends like Chavaria and Orlando and Danny, everyone here, like, that's what I want to brag about. So,
Awesome. Incredible. One more? Man.
I'm gonna make it $70. Well, in total.
How
We're
much
at
you got?
63, 64, so I'm gonna do a $6 brag. But I just want to brag about just everyone in Choose to Change. It's amazing how many people just believe in Choose to Change and the results that come out of it. And I feel like just this year, there's a lot of doors have opened.
Mhm.
We have speaking gigs for Orlando, and we're able to get into rehab, and we've met just incredible people this year. And I feel like just a lot of doors, things happening behind the scenes, and I feel like just all the hard work is gonna pay off next year. So I'm just excited and just want to brag about each and every one of us who just has worked hard to keep this thing going, and because there's a lot of people doing things similar like AA. There's a lot of things like other organizations that try to do what we do, but there's really no organization like ours that
Amen.
has the stories, that have the people, the faith, the heart like this organization. And I feel deep in my heart that God's gonna move, and so God's gonna
Amen.
open doors. He's already been opening doors, and I feel like 2022 is gonna be a year of breakthrough for our organization, and we're gonna see amazing things. So just want to brag about everyone.
Amen.
So
Awesome. So it is exciting. Leon here, I'm going to go. Those of you that don't know this, we're actually opening, there's a Choose the Change in, in a church in Temple, Texas. And every Friday they have meetings. And one of the brothers there does it. But I'm going to go do that meeting next Friday. And I'm taking Leon with me. So he's gonna be able to share a little something over there too. So we're making impact, and I wanted to make impact in my local community and in the state of Texas, and that's what we're doing. We're gonna take the state of Texas for Jesus, for Choose the Change. All right. Well, that's all we have. That's all we have. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming. We'll see you next week. We're gonna have a party. I don't know how, but we're gonna have one. So we'll see you next week. God bless you. Thank you.